And welcome to another episode of Radio Rothingham after another hiatus because we really want to keep up our good name of being the world's least professional podcast. Now 20%
That's
least
Artrix's
professional.
way of saying that he's shit at everything.
Mm-hmm.
He also has a life. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's one of those mysterious things. It's a life outside of the internet. It's really, really weird. Like, you gotta do things and shit. And yeah, but there we are to bring a new episode. I also decided to make it a bit simpler this time around, seeing as we have so few viewers. So
It's a continuation of the topic of Artrix being shit at everything.
Exactly. So yeah, how are you guys doing?
I'm drinking off-brand Red Bull because it's just obviously the tastiest beverage, and it makes me feel terrible.
So you're drinking Monster?
No, that's not really
called?
off-brand. It's probably like Bullet or Energizer or whatever it's called these.
I'm pretty sure that Energizer is a type of battery.
It's called Dart.
Yeah, but... Dart. Okay.
Dart.
That sounds very exciting.
Oh, it is. It tastes awful. I love it.
Great.
So yeah, one of the reasons we haven't really been doing the podcast is
You mean the only reason?
yeah, because it all depends on me. That's how important I am.
Yeah.
I went on vacation. I went to the far, far away land that is Austria, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's right next to New Zealand, right?
Yeah, that's right next to New Zealand. You're only like 20,000 kilometers off, if not even more. I don't know. I can't even.
So did you see any kangaroos?
No. But I did see Mozart, or at least this is his house where he used to be born.
He used to be born.
Used to be.
Yeah, he used to be born there.
He used to be.
Mhm.
That's something he used to do on regular basis. Just
Exactly.
Yep.
you know, wander into the house, get born, do it again next week.
Exactly. Well, that's what he did for like 20 minutes.
Well,
that's what he-
some people make podcasts, some people get born.
Yeah, that's just the state of things, I guess.
Would you say he's a born again composer?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when he was born, he was like, nah, I'm just gonna be born again because in my current state I can't compose word shit. So he was born again. Just went back in there, was born again, and he was like, yeah, that this is definitely going to work, guys.
And that's when he started doing video game music, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Did he change his name to Frank Kopacki? Because then it would all make sense.
No, he was still Mozart.
No.
So went to Salzburg, and I saw his house.
How
And
much
also-
salt was there?
There was a lot of house. It was
I asked about salt.
salt.
Houses.
Yeah, there's also a lot of salt in Salzburg. I didn't use any of it though because I don't use salt all that much. But what I did had was the Salzburg Donkel, which is the most elaborate dessert on the planet. Except probably not really, but it was a pretty elaborate dessert.
It's a piece of bread with sugar on top, isn't it?
No, not really. It's like 3 humps of like egg, but it's like cream. So it's more like an eggnog or something, and it's got a
doesn't-
shit ton of sugar and berries and whatnot. And it takes 20 minutes to prepare.
None of those things fill me with confidence.
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds very Austrian, that's true.
Mm-hmm. It was a very Austrian thing to do. So yeah, I was there with my dad and was like, let's try this donkel, and we were like, yeah, this is a pretty good dessert. I like it. It's a nice little dessert.
And then you desert it.
Kaiserschmarrn.
Yeah, and then we deserted the restaurant after paying, of course.
Casuals.
We are honorable deserters. We were like, we're gonna desert your restaurant, but here's 20 euros. Like, okay.
That's
Well-
an easy. Artrix, that's easy mode. Come on. You need to play life on higher
Yeah,
difficulty.
but come on, we're on vacation, right? You gotta relax. You can't always be, fighting everyone. No, we were on vacation. We were just chilling. We also went to the castle. It was a pretty castle. It had like stones and walls and shit.
Did it still stand?
Yep.
That's
It,
not
it
a
wasn't.
castle.
It wasn't one of those ruined castles like the one we saw in Valkenburg, Limburg. This one was still standing. It was a pretty castle.
Valkenburg.
Yeah, Valkenburg in Netherlands.
Is that where Chelsea is from?
No, or at least I don't think so.
But it's her name. I mean, surname.
Oh, you mean literally who?
Yes, I mean literally Chelsea.
Yeah, no, she's not from there. But there's a town called Valkenburg. So yeah, you've got that going, I guess. So, anyways, to prevent this podcast from, well, of course, you have to upkeep our, brand of being the most least professional podcast of the internet. The most least professional. I like it.
That's your brand. I would prefer to be a bit more professional. You're just too damn lazy.
Well, you are on the world's least professional podcast, so by default it makes you part of it. You can't escape from
I'm not
Xaverius.
denying that.
Anyways, we need a topic, and we need one now. So, does anyone of you have a topic to discuss on the show?
I
Right
don't
now.
know.
You don't know? No?
I only had 25 seconds to prepare.
Well, in that case, I'll select the topic because I'm pretty sure you guys have at least some, opinion about it. Let's talk about the Powerpuff Girls reboot that was rebooted recently, as in not a few years ago, but recently.
There's a reboot.
Yep. They made a new one, and
so that's why there was so many Tumblr drawing of very hairy Powerpuff Girls lately.
yeah, except these.
Well,
Oh, go ahead.
I heard that they improved the style significantly by removing all semblance of art from it.
Oh, cool! I love when that happens.
You know what they did? They took everything from Adventure Time that I thought was quirky.
Noodly arms.
Exactly. And they decided to make
the defining feature of Adventure Time.
and
Noodle arms.
and they made an entire new Powerpuff Girls show about it.
Oh god, Powerpuff Girls with noodle arms. It sounds so wrong.
Well, to be fair, they
Powerpuff
already
Girls.
kind of had noodle arms. So
No,
that's
they had noodle stubs. They were not arms.
okay. So I'm going to draw it right now. So if they really went for the Adventure Time style, then they'd be like, yeah. Then they had like the noodle legs and noodle arms. I'm drawing it right now.
What about Tagliatelle legs and arms?
Oh,
Well,
no.
it does kind of look like Tagliatelle.
It's a flying spaghetti monster.
Yes,
I worship thee.
which is the best.
Ramen.
Yes,
Ramen.
ramen.
But apparently the show is chock full of animation errors. Like
As you do.
really also spelling errors. Like in one instance it says self-destruct. They forgot the C.
Well, she's got the strat. You know what I sing.
I put struts in my rockets and Kerbal, it helps them. Makes them not fall down.
It's because it helps them walk.
Mm-hmm. My rockets get mad strutting.
Nice.
Actually, I don't think what you're drawing appears to be a Powerpuff Girl. It looks like a terrifying monster from The Adventures of Finn and Jake.
Well, yeah, that's what it would look like if they literally took everything about Adventure Time and applied to Powerpuff Girls, but they didn't. the Powerpuff Girls in the reboot actually have some resemblance of their original character designs. Though when you look at the characters from the side, they have like this terrifying. They look terrifying because they broke the one rule that what's his face again? Craig McCracken set for the show.
Yes, Craig McFaust.
Craig McFaust. He said, "Don't ever show the characters from the side. There should always be three-quarter view or like a profile, but never do, you know, the side view because it just looks fucking ridiculous."
Yes,
and that's what they.
It's one of the golden rules of animation making. The second one being never sleep with your characters.
That's a pretty good one, actually. You don't want any malformed cartoon babies. Those are terrible.
But how do I get sexy cartoon women in my bed in the first place to not sleep with them?
Well,
this
yeah.
is important. I must know so I can avoid it.
Oh, you don't, so you don't sleep with them. It's easy.
Yeah, or otherwise abominations like Teen Titans Go happen.
I hate that terrifying smile face you put on that character.
Well, back.
And that's the kind of smile you see on the show. I think I saw like a shot with Buttercup with that exact. Except it was the other way around, but it was that retarded.
Back.
Yeah.
At least they were Teen Titans, not prepubescent Titans.
Mm. Yeah, those are also one of the people in chat brings up the man hate from the new Powerpuff Girls show.
I think I may have mentioned that actually the other day when we were talking about it.
What man hate? Everybody knows that men are vile creatures.
The very first episode about Powerpuff Girls of the new season was basically just shitting all over masculinity for the hell of it.
Well, it's empowering.
Yes, they had an empowered man and they smacked him down, turned him into a bitch.
Well, they are not here to take away our masculinity.
Oh yeah, now I remember the terrifying sight of that frame. Oh god.
Looks like
Yeah, but I'm sure Greg McFaust actually has shown a reference from his times to actually even look decent from the side.
It still looks terrible, but it looked a lot more passable than what they did in that show.
I'm pretty sure that what Artrix is doing right now is some kind of insect.
Yes.
And
so
yeah,
Powerpuff Girls aren't actually human.
Alright, and in the original it was more like alright, Irish Domestic Life ITT.
You're Irish?
Well, I'm not, but you know, Panboy yes.
Yeah, but speaking of domestic life, I think they even managed to get Professor Utonium wrong because they sometimes give them like a round chin.
What?
Yeah.
Yes, Professor Utonium gets a round chin.
No, I don't understand. This how?
In the new show?
I don't think laws of physics work like that.
In the new show, they gave Professor Utonium a round chin.
I do not comprehend.
In the original, you know, one of the characteristics of Professor Utonium is that he was like square as all fuck. Like everything about the character was square.
Yes, that's the point of my joke, Artrix.
Mm-hmm. But no, in the new show, he is round because we can't have characters with any sharp edges.
Oh, you could cut yourself.
Exactly, and that could trigger someone.
That's a perfectly solid line of reasoning.
Yeah, okay, I'm done drawing these terrifying things. I actually like the Adventure Time.
Well, these terrifying things look like insects, complete with wings. So hey.
So yeah, but yeah, the first episode did it was kind of, you know, telling that the first episode was about a boy who's named Manboy, and he's like, yeah, girls are stupid and dumb because I'm the villain or some shit.
Sounds solid.
That's not a good way to start off the entire series, but other than that, just looks.
That isn't even a good Powerpuff Girl villain, because isn't like every one episode beginning with some villain attacking Townsville?
Yeah, that's another thing. The fighting is really dialed down in this version. Like in the original, you had like, I think the charm of the original is that, okay, so you got these three adorable looking little girls that beat the shit out of everything.
Well, Artrix, it's kind of problematic in that regard. Violence.
Yeah, so
It's
now
Violence
they
is bad,
use
Artrix.
things like magic or
Yes.
like some sort of hello. They can like transmutate the air around them to become like fists and shit. They don't really do the fighting themselves. It's like these powers that they use.
No. Don't you know that the girls cannot be violent at all? Not ever.
So yeah, instead we're gonna use this magic shit.
I mean, you can't just go and do some stuff in cartoons, because, you know, cartoons have the ability to shape reality. If you make something in cartoon, it will come real.
That's very true. If you know, if you drop an anvil on someone, then someone is definitely going to try that IRL.
Exactly.
So in other words, you could never have that episode from the Animaniacs where you have an entire country based around anvils.
I think you couldn't have most of the episodes of Animaniacs.
Yeah. Good night, everyone. That was pretty clever.
Yes. Good night, everyone. Forever.
Also, I'm just randomly decided that I'm just gonna draw like a humanized Blossom, because why the fuck not?
Well, maybe this time you'll draw her, you know, normally, and it will work.
In what regard humanized? Because she's already kinda human to begin with.
Yeah, kinda. But
Except inside.
That's racist. Stop being so racist back.
no, but this is like does
Like,
the original doesn't really have eyelashes, does she?
No, they
Whatever the
are called eternal, unblinking eyes.
Well, not this version. I'm gonna make her total QT, as in
you are
Q.
gonna draw Powerpuff Girls that version.
The pro.
Because it's
In hindsight, I like Powerpuff Girls Z an awful lot better than this reboot. I mean, don't get me wrong, I didn't really like Powerpuff Girls Z. It was silly, it was overly Japanese, it was really dumbed down too. It really had tee-hee, this is a magical girl show vibe all over it.
You forgot about LOL random.
No, I'm not entirely sure if that a lot of LOL random in it.
It was tee. It has to be LOL random.
But now that I recall the first episode that I saw, yeah, they actually kind of had a lot of LOL random in it.
Exactly.
I remember that that in the first episode they had to save someone, but then it was like, oh no, but these cool kids need ice cream. Yes, that's the way I remember it. They suddenly needed ice cream or some shit.
So fuck that guy who are we supposed to be saving. Let's get ice cream.
Yeah, that's what happened. Well, to be more specific, they kind of put the fight on hold. They were like, okay, you evil monster thing, just stand there, okay? Just wait a bit. Yes. we're going to get these school children their ice cream first, and then we're going to fight. Is that cool with you? And the monster was like, oh, okay, I guess. I'll wait. I can wait. And the monster's waiting. And then they got the ice cream, and then they resumed their fight. They were like, okay.
That sounds very considerate of them. I mean, the poor monster cleared up its schedule just to be able to attack the city that afternoon, and they are going to go and ignore the monster.
Superheroines these days don't really have, they don't have superhero etiquette anymore. In the good old days, they at least respect the rights and the efforts of monsters. These days, they're like, nah.
No respect to be
everything. Yeah, no respect.
Nah.
So yeah, there's nothing like the original basically. And I recently saw. I remember, watching Powerpuff Girls back in the day. And I kept it up till season 4, I think, and then just sort of stopped. Season 5 episodes, which apparently are like longer episodes.
Yeah.
It was alright, but this new version definitely doesn't hold a candle, and I'm sharing that opinion.
Longer episodes, shorter skirts.
Right. Anyways, do you guys have anything else to add about the whole Powerpuff Girls getting a reboot thing? I guess not. Guess it's all that is to be said.
Yep.
Anyways, I think we got another topic, and it pertains to Nintendo and their to Nintendo.
And what is that?
And their cutting edge new console that's going to come out in.
You mean Xbox?
No, not Xbox.
Because Xbox sounds like the kind of cutting edge that Nintendo does.
No. To be fair, okay. About what?
I was AFK.
And we carried on the discussion without you.
Oh my god.
And it was, and you know what we discussed?
Cutting edge.
That. But we also discussed Powerpuff Girls. Do you have anything else to add to the whole Powerpuff Girls thing, or are you like, yeah, it's a show that exists, don't care much about it, let's move on?
I said words about it.
Mm-hmm. Very insightful words.
I said, yeah. The art style is delicious. And the morals are great. And they really treat people with a fair and balanced brush,
Yep.
Everyone was treated with due respect.
Yes.
Because that's what cartoons these days are. Because that's what cartoons are all about these days. Respect.
As they should, of course.
Unless, of course, you belong to the wrong kind of people, then you're shit. Anyways, we're about to touch up on the subject of the recent announcements of Nintendo to release the Nintendo NX in Q1 2017.
And I heard it's going to be almost as powerful as the first Xbox.
Almost, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's going to be as powerful as the first Xbox, and it's not going to backfire whatsoever.
Well, it's a lot of power. They have a lot of responsibility with this kind of power.
Well, I'm pretty sure it just verifies my theory that they're just killing the home console market altogether and just trying to make a handheld that you can plug into your TV.
Actually,
what is this handheld that you don't plug into your TV? I don't understand.
We actually don't know jack shit about the Wii U, about the NX still. We don't know.
It's probably a rebrand of PS Vita.
Yes, the next is going to be a rebrand of the PS Vita. But we don't know. And it's really weird because, you know, it's going to launch in less than a year and we still don't know the specs or even what it fucking looks like.
What it even is. Maybe it's a brand
what
of
it
brand.
is. Well, we know that it's dedicated gaming platform.
Well, technically that's an amiibo.
No, an amiibo isn't a dedicated.
Maybe the NX was
You can play games with amiibos.
Okay,
If it goes the same way as the Wii and the Wii U, what it's going to be is a very expensive, almost utility worth paperweight.
Well, it can also be used as a doorstop.
I don't know. It might be a bit fragile for a heavy swinging door.
That's the 2DS. That's stop.
Also, Artrix, you can play games with amiibos, like the game of Tea Party.
Yes,
Of course, the greatest thing that the NX brings is the fact that they're pushing back Zelda and rushing out Star Fox.
Okay, those are all good things.
It's like,
They didn't rush out Star Fox because it actually got delayed once.
Oh.
Yeah, they
It was
did.
supposed to launch last year already.
Maybe
So
they were
they-
planning on pushing it back as well, but
Well,
decided not.
wait, Buck. They are not rushing out Star Fox, and you know why? Because to rush something out, it has to be at least remotely near being prepared for release.
Yeah, and also I'm still not pumped about Star Fox. What I was impressed by was this cartoon that was released recently by some dude, which made Star Fox look like some sort of 1980s cartoon. It was pretty interesting.
But was it a cooperation of Netherlands, Belgium, France, and Japan cartoon?
No, it wasn't a co-production between Netherlands, Japan, and Belgium.
Because those were the best, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That does sound like a very good cartoon, with all those different cooks playing with that broth.
Yeah, it
Because
was.
that never ends
Well,
badly.
you remember Ulysses 31?
Yes. Also,
I think
and
that was such a kind of co-production.
the
That
80s.
was a great cartoon.
The
I mean,
80s.
it was
The 80s was a
The
great decade for these international co-productions, so to speak. Like,
Yeah.
there's experimental cartoons, I think they called them. They really made you think.
Was Mysterious Cities of Gold a co-production?
yeah, I think it was between. Yeah, it was distinctly between France and Japan.
That works.
It was very
definitely
distinct
had a
Japanese.
consistent plot as well.
Also, season 2 of Mysterious Cities of Gold is alright-ish. It's not the best thing since sliced bread, but it's entertaining. You do have to keep in mind that it is a children's cartoon and it is kind of meant to educate you. So,
But does it still have the opening sequence that it had in the first season?
well, not exactly the same, but it has the same tune. It's just a bit more modern. It's alright. It's alright.
Okay, good.
If you haven't checked it out, you may want to check it out. Just one episode.
It no longer looks like it was drawn in the 80s.
It no
That's
longer.
what you meant.
No, it's really weird. They use like this CGI, but it's kind of CGI that does like the outline stuff. So it looks like it's drawn, but it's CGI. You can clearly
It's
see
not
it.
drawn.
But most importantly, it had a solid gold flying bird.
Yes, it had the giant golden flying condor was still there, and it will be there in season 3.
Good.
Of course, they could never kill the jet condor of death built by the ancient Egyptians.
And powered by sun.
But what was the race called again? Like the Mekas or whatever. They had like they had like 2 competing tribes in the past that were super futuristic, but then they had like a nuclear.
Yeah,
Spain
it
happened.
was South American Indians. The Mecca?
Something like that.
I don't know.
No, there's something with an M.
Well, there's Maya.
The Mew.
No, was it
Yeah,
the Maya?
yeah.
There's also the Mixtecs.
The people of Mew and some other peoples, and the one of the
Probably the Dutch.
it wasn't the Mayas.
It was Mixtecs. I hope it was.
No, one of
Mixtecs.
the running themes of season 2 is like some sort of feud. And what's his face? I think his name is Mew.
Yes, that guy. The third guy.
The third guy. There was also I now want to draw Esteban and Zia, and what's his face, and the third guy. The thing about they had like a running theme where there was some animosity between Esteban and I think he was called Tao.
It's possible. You know what I liked? That Esteban and Zia were fairly detailed, and his facial features amounted to a smiley.
Well, yeah, that was
Save
kind
me,
of.
Esteban.
Yeah. Please protect me, Esteban. Please protect me, Esteban. Please protect me, Esteban. Please protect me, Esteban. Ah, Zia, protect yourself. Here's an Uzi.
You ruined my joke by another joke.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure Anita Sarkeesian would love the Mysterious Cities of Gold. It has all the tropes in it that she just come all over it.
Well, they kind of downplayed it in the new series. Like Zia can still be kind of clueless girl, but she can definitely hold her own.
She's a damsel in distress, Artrix. You know how sexist that is.
Except that she
17.
I can't remember that she was ever a damsel in distress in season 2. She probably was in season 1 at some point, but.
Well, you know, different times, Artrix.
Yeah.
Back then, the men had to rescue the women in TV, otherwise it would be deemed inappropriate.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if the women aren't rescuing themselves on TV, it's deemed inappropriate. I'm very confused. So very confused. What do you want, women? Do you want us to rescue us, or do you want us not to rescue and watch you fall in the volcano? Which is it?
Volcano, thank you very much.
I think I'll just solve all these problems in future. Anytime I see someone almost dying to the volcano, I'm just gonna push them in.
Oh.
Yeah.
Regardless of their sex. I'll just push them in the volcano. Job's done.
Just kill everyone equally.
It's just so much easier just to be the villain than try to be the good guy these days.
Also, I'm totally drawing Esteban without any reference, so this is gonna be fun.
Okay.
I really have no
I'm
fucking.
told by someone in the chat that the people in the Mysterious Cities of Gold were the Maya and the Musica.
Well, no, I'm pretty damn sure it wasn't. Maybe they were based off the Mayans, but
Muisca.
Music. They obviously invented the musics.
Ah, makes sense.
So really, we can blame them on the slide whistle. It's
Also,
their fault. And we must now have a pratfall.
from memory, I can already kind of see Esteban in this because he had that very distinct haircut, which was very Esteban-y.
You know, Artrix, you have something called the internet.
Mm. Yeah, but this
Use
is
this to find references.
it's more fun this way. Because when I do look up the reference, I can be like, oh, well, this version looks rather silly now. But I don't really care. Also, I gave him a really long neck, so obviously I care a lot about this drawing.
You need 2 necks. Double neck.
Yeah, we were talking about the necks, weren't we?
Oh.
Okay, you guys are kind of starting to robot now.
You were also a robot. It's because there's background noise and that's here. Handle it.
I do. The only thing that's is Artrix thing of Tatas, but that's
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
just blame it on me again.
Wow.
You're the one hosting the call, you know.
I heard myself completely well.
Yes, you heard yourself completely well. It's usually the case when you are in your own living, in your own
And
room.
I hear you completely well.
Remember, kids, should you ever use Skype, make sure the person with the most bandwidth and fastest computer starts the call, as Skype is a whore and will eat all your resources.
It's like
All
Chrome.
of them. All of them.
All of them.
If you think your 8-core hyper-threaded AMD is fast enough for Skype, think again.
It's not.
It will never be.
You-
It's never
Well,
gonna
it-
be enough.
Oh, it's AMD. Obviously, it's never going there.
But you don't have an octa-core AMD.
Thank God.
And that 3 gigahertz Intel you have, even that won't cut it. You need at least 3.5 gigajoules.
Yep. A thermal processor. It works in gigajoules.
It works in gigajoules, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
And that's just the level of radiated energy it creates.
yes.
The actual consumption of energy it requires.
Oh
it's
boy.
almost immeasurable.
Well, if you're expressing it in gigajoules, then in a matter of hours you'll use the amount of energy required to heat a house for an entire year. Because that's expressed in gigajoules.
Exactly. Exactly.
Anyways, also his back's still alive because he sounds kind of dead.
What even is a
I
bug?
live.
Oh no, he's still here. Cool.
I live. I just try to understand the robots.
Alright, back. How do you feel about that game you really enjoy, The Crafting of the Wars? We all know that's your favorite video game. The wars and the crafting of such.
You sure?
Yeah, are you sure that that's Backfoon's thing?
Oh, definitely.
Because that kind of sounds more like, I don't know, that doesn't sound like a back thing.
Yeah.
Are you going to suggest it's Zav? Because all Zav can talk about is lenses and plastic molding.
And refugees and
Yeah.
immigrants.
Yes. Yeah. Zev is always talking about refugees and lenses and what have you, and Beck is always talking about the StarCrafts.
About what? Why would you talk about StarCraft, the last one on the table?
Mhm.
So I've been hearing terrible rumors about these video game servers.
Mhm.
Video games have
What about
servers,
them? What about them servers?
Okay, get this.
Oh God.
Apparently,
Uh-huh.
there are people on the internet who like playing really terrible video games so much that they hacked together fake internet servers for them so that they could play the bad video games in their worst versions. The first versions that came out, like version 1 with all the bugs, just littered with bugs.
No.
And no
I
expansions.
feel I have to correct you. The free servers make their own bugs.
Oh, so you're saying that they have even more bugs?
Obviously, they have even more bugs. Yeah, it's a core built on C, I think C+ or C#, one of those, probably C, and the database is SQL, and nobody's entirely sure where are taking the data from. So some of them is just rough approximation. Of course, it's full of bugs.
Hmm.
Also,
That sounds fantastic.
Also, some would argue that it's not the worst version of the game. It also, I guess, depends on what you want. Do you want to discover stuff and maybe even, I don't know, kill mobs and feel challenged that they can kill you back? Or do you just want to make level 100 in 2 hours?
But most importantly, this greatly offended the mother company Ubisoft, who couldn't stand for people wanting to play their shitty version of the game. So they went to the MPAA and
No, this is a dramatization of the event. All they did was make a letter and send a letter to the server provider, and the server provider, being French, chickened out and was like, hey guys, maybe you should do something about this. And then the guys who made the server, who also were French, also chickened out and took the server down. You know, Blizzard sending a letter with, we don't like this, maybe you should take it down. That's a common occurrence on the free server scene.
Now,
the thing where you have to act is when you get cease and desist. Just a letter, that's nothing.
Now this really begs a question, actually, because recently in France, the Frenchiness has been attempting to sue the Steams for not allowing people to own and resell their games.
This is true.
Now, I feel this is appropriate because these people who are playing the terrible video game of yore, they bought a different game than what Ubisoft are selling now.
Exactly. It's a very, very much different game.
So by French law, which says that you own the property you buy, shouldn't they still be allowed to play their terrible game?
Maybe, but you know what Ubisoft says. It's not possible to make all the servers because it would take too much work. They don't have to code anymore.
But that's an awful thing for EA to say when the players themselves were more than capable of running the servers, which powered the game that they already owned.
This is exactly the argument that Konami is trying to use against the free servers, but actually it's undermining itself, because, you know, if they don't have the data anymore, then the free server people are the only people who have the data.
Oh. My God. Well, then, if the free server people are the only people who actually own the data right now, then they are running their own unique servers, and
which don't exist anymore on the developing company servers.
Yeah, so therefore the free server companies actually own all the copyright to this game that Interplay no longer support.
They don't, as you know, the owner of the copyright, since it's an intellectual property and blah blah blah, you know, of Rockstar, and the free servers cannot do shit about that. But yes, their servers right now are more legit, as it's for the original box with the game, than the servers that Rockstar is putting up right now.
It's really terrible DMA Interactive would do this to the gaming community.
Yeah, it is. Also, then there was the guy who actually led the World of Warcraft team during the very first edition of the game, and they asked him, is it true that the game development company doesn't have the data anymore? His response was, well, I hired the first archivist, so it shouldn't happen.
You see, it's a very complex process so what you do when you're archiving is you get this little box, and it contains a really long ribbon that is called a magnetic tape, and then on this box you write the words April 15 2005, and you put it in a computer and you click copy.
My God.
And then all the stuff that's on the computer goes magically onto the really long ribbon, and it's written in French.
Oh my.
Which is why no one can read it, because French is a dead language.
Well, only Canadians speak it these days. Well, but
which is why Westwood Interactive obviously can't restore.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention Westwood. That's exactly like their shtick. They don't have it anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't put it past some of the people who are in there that they just wrote over it.
Probably.
No, there's a guy like that there. You know, the you think you do but you don't person. He's actually one of the people who are high in the hierarchy of the company. I don't know how he got there exactly, but he's there.
That has got to be the most bizarre quote I've ever heard from a game developer. It's like, your gamers come to you and they're like, there's thousands of us playing on these legacy servers. Why don't you make a server like this so we can play it on there officially? And he's all like, well, you think you want to do that thing you're enjoying, but you really don't.
He didn't specifically mention free servers because it was on at a BlizzCon. He just mentioned, like, maybe have you ever considered making a legacy server? And then the dude said to that entire hall full of hundreds, maybe thousands of people that they think they do want to play the game, but they actually don't.
Now, would you say if I was stabbing him at that time, that he would say, I thought I wanted to stab him, but I didn't?
I'm not entirely sure. Well, he's of course a very magnificent genius guy who knows exactly how the game works.
Mm-hmm.
So after those, I don't know, there was like 800,000 accounts on the server that went down, and about 15,000 active players every day.
Mm-hmm.
So when those few thousand players went and were not very happy about his decision, and were like, maybe now that you've taken down the last and best legacy server in existence, you could make your own official legacy server. And he was like, you want legacy servers? Okay. You know, we can give you the current expansion, but with lower XP rates.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. Basically, what he wants to do is remove all those 7,000 items that make leveling easier, because they add you like 50% more XP for every item you have. Yeah.
What?
Well, yeah, that's what they did. Like you have special items that give you 10% bonus, and it's coating. So basically, you can have 10 of these at you at any time.
How do you get these items? Do you have to find them in rare drops, or are they just given?
I don't know how it's right now, but it used to be that you had to reach the max level and then you granted some currency. But I don't suppose it's like that anymore because, you know, casualizing.
I don't think Psygnosis are quite where they used to be anymore.
The only thing that's from endgame that you can get to get XP is potions, and those potions are magnificent. Like,
you can get XP potions.
Yes, you can get XP potions, and it's nice. You know, you have this new expansion. Well, new. It's ending right now, but you had this expansion, and it was from levels 90 to 100.
Mm-hmm.
And you were supposed to enjoy that and do all the quests in all the locations. Or you can stack a few of these potions and make those 10 levels in 2 hours by just grinding mobs.
Yeah, this talk just makes me think that Bethesda had it right when they made the Morrowinds, and they just let you drink all the potions you could imagine to do whatever the fuck you wanted at any point.
And it didn't even crash the game, mostly.
Mostly.
Well, it crashed the game in the moment when your numbers were so high that they overflowed back to negative.
I think I may have actually accidentally referred to the correct developer.
Well, we weren't talking about the crafts of the wars, so...
That's true.
Maybe I'm drawing Rayman.
So yeah, his response to we want the original game was, we'll give you the game right now, but with harder leveling. Well, harder. Normal, I guess. Because from the reports of the people I heard, apparently the game is easy enough that you can just team up with a guy and just completely tear through a dungeon in 2 people.
Honestly, the things I've been hearing that people don't like about the modern game isn't really the leveling. It's more the complete and utter lack of any need to be social. And
That too.
and this this is from a game that was built on the backs of social networking.
Are you saying that the massive multiplayer online thing stands for massive multiplayer online?
It's almost like you're supposed to be encouraged to interact with other game players.
That's
like some
interesting
kind of
idea.
multiple user dungeon system.
That's a very bold claim.
Yep.
I don't
You know-
believe you.
You know, I can tell you how it used to be. It used to be that you wanted to go a dungeon.
Hmm.
So you stood on a corner and yelled at random people that you want to go to dungeon. And if they wanted to go to dungeon, they joined you. And by corner, I mean the whole chat. And then you went to the dungeon, and maybe you didn't even vibe. And then you got all the fat loots.
Now, I think from what I'm hearing is it sounds more like what happens in a video game called Warframe that I played a few times, where
Yes, they had an idea in one of the expansions. I think it was the anger of the Frozen King. Yes, that was the one. They added a button, and then you click the button and chose if you are the guy with the sword or the guy with the staff. Yeah, and that's all you had to do. Then it gave you random people and teleported you to the dungeon. So you didn't even have to know where the dungeon is and what it's there for.
see that's where I was kind of going to refer to it in a similar fashion to the Warframes, because in the Warframes there's no real world map where you wander around because the game is based in the galaxy.
Yeah.
So you click on a planet and then you click on a sector, and then you pick a mission and click go, and then the computer spins around for a while, and then it finds you other people, and those people join your team, and then you load up the level, and then these people who have done the level a million times and grinding for loot just shoot out in the correct direction at Mach 7, and you're standing there going, what? Is this multiplayer? Or are they just bots doing things on an automated cycle that I have no understanding of? And then you desperately try to pick up and keep up with people who obviously know exactly where they're going, what they're doing. And you stand there confused and alone and scared and then get ganked by a monster. And then you want your mommy. And you remember, this is fun. This is a video game.
That actually reminded me of something that happened in this game. You know, Atari had even more genius ideas. That dungeons are, well, after they added the buttons that just teleport you inside, that dungeons are actually too hard. So they basically made every encounter a tank as plank, or a DPS race. And then their next expansion came, the World End, and they introduced this game-breaking, world-breaking mechanic that's called use the damn CC. Like a crowd control, you know. And then you had many people frustrated at this extremely difficult dungeon where you have to use this thing called stun. I don't know what that is.
It sounds like a mechanic that would maybe slow an enemy down for a small length of time.
Yeah.
Huh?
Maybe that enemy that spits fire on everybody in the dungeon and kills them.
Oh, I would imagine that would be a relatively good idea.
Yep. Well, don't worry. I mean, that's a relatively good idea, but they had the best idea. You remember the button, right?
The button?
Yes, they took the button
Mm-hmm.
and then added a functionality that did this for a raid.
Oh.
For a group of 25 people. And they, having this giant slew of great ideas, they also added a cross-server functionality. So the people you got randomly grouped with and teleported into an instance weren't even people you knew.
So are you saying in a game system which has these raids that are supposed to allow on your server your team dominance of a map, but then they removed the your server part from the equation?
Yes.
Right. So, when you achieve dominance in this raid, does your server even get dominance, or does the other server get? How does that even? What?
I don't think anybody notices, frankly. You just got grouped, you wipe or don't wipe. Actually, don't wipe because the raids you go to the button are very, very easy. So the people who are only able to click a button can do them.
Uh-huh.
Then there's another difficulty level for people who can do more than just click a button. Maybe even, be in a guild.
Wait, maybe you have to walk to a button.
Well, that used to be, but I don't know more. In the guild, you do have to walk to the dungeon. Yes, that's true. With all the guild, and you have to talk to them and discuss strategies, and that's what you call a mythic difficulty.
So this sounds terrible.
Kinda, maybe.
You have to deal with real people in the real world. Like, I remember back in I think in the early 2000s, maybe there was this online video game called the 10 of the Sixes, where there was where everyone was on a planet, and you built a base, and then you logged off, and then everyone on that planet looked at your base and said, "I want that," and they went in and shot all your stuff, and then you came back on the next day, and you're like, "Where's my shit gone?" And then someone in your company, which you are automatically added to in the game, says, hey bro, I think you might be new here, but you gotta do stuff so that your base doesn't get fucked." Yeah. You're like, oh shit.
Well, thanks for the heads up.
It's not like this in the craft of warfare, because they were about a persistent world, which in their version means nothing ever changes.
But in the sixes of the tens, everything changed. You could go on one day and you could see that there was a giant base next to your base, and it was filled with lovely people who just wanted to murder you, and
sounds nice.
And you could visit it, and you could blow up all their stuff and take it and put it in your base.
And then you'll be rich.
Yes.
Well, you literally would be, yes.
Until your base would get destroyed. It's a vicious cycle.
It was. That's why you had to make friends with people in the game and ask them to go to your base when someone went to your base so they could stop it from being fucked up. They also had the option of fucking up your base while they were there.
Well, you had to make friends in this nondescript game with legacy servers, because they were the raids, and they didn't need 25 people. Back then they needed 40 people, and you had to actually prepare for them by farming things and brewing potions and crafting enchants. I don't even know. And for that you need a guild.
You're saying you had to put in work and preparation and tactics?
Yep. And if you were a dick to everybody, because it wasn't cross-server back then everybody would remember you. And if you kept being a dick, then you would not get to any dungeons, because everybody would hate you.
That sounds like social mechanics that would drive a game.
Yes.
And make it interesting.
Isn't that terrible?
It is. I would never play a game like that. I'll just go onto Team Fortress and shoot random people on a random server and never talk to them again.
And that's why the current expansion of the game is the best.
Because you never have to talk to people.
Exactly. You have your own base, and the base produces resources for you. And gold.
Oh, that's nice.
You just sit in there, log twice a day, and that's it.
But then does the guy from 10.6 come in and shoot all your stuff?
No. It's a instanced base that's at the same spot for every player.
But then how do people destroy it?
They don't.
And cripple your economy.
I mean, some people would argue that this destroys the social aspect, because now people don't AFK in the cities and don't talk to each other, but they AFK in their own base where nobody can go to. But that's just silly talk. Come on. You get that gold from those daily quests that you don't even have to do yourself.
I'm sorry, but I have to say this fantastic game you're describing from Neversoft Interactive doesn't really appeal to me. In fact it sounds like I would be better off playing a CRPG with no internet connectivity. Something like maybe Baldur's Gate or Neverwinters, maybe. Or even Effects of the Massive. All these great games from Interplay.
Yes. Sounds like that, maybe.
And that's the sound of a Doge.
That's the sound of a Doge.
Wow, much Doge, very Borg.
Yep. It's also interactive.
Super interactive Doge technology.
It's also from Interplay.
I think we may have exhausted this topic.
We did.
Probably.
I think we exhausted it a while ago.
You think we did, but we didn't.
And also finished drawing this here Le Rayman.
I wouldn't know. I caused Mozilla to preserve the precious bandwidth.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
But he's very...
Good old Rayman from Core Entertainment.
Yeah. You know what? I actually reinstalled the game. I have it reinstalled is a strong word. I found it on a abandonware site and downloaded it.
Oh, good job.
I don't think it is abandonware. It's just a really, really old game.
You mean the original Rayman?
Yes. The one from Activision.
You don't like Origins and Legends, or is it...
Oh no, check Interactive.
Well, that happened.
Tonight is just interruptions night.
Yep. Really living up the least professional podcast of the internet aspect of the show.
Yes. This is what happens when you live in a house where people live that actually go to Borg Artrix.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they have to commute and shit.
It's very bad.
Very bad.
Actually, this is the social aspect that we've been warned about in the game from the snowblowers.
Anyways, I think we actually had a good run. We've been going for about an hour.
Did we?
Yeah.
Bach didn't even said anything. Say.
He said 0.3 things about the NX. Because there's so much to say about it, because you don't have a goddamn clue what it is.
It doesn't exist yet.
Well, as I said, maybe the NX already exists. It's all inside of us all along. We just needed to realize it.
Are you saying
honestly,
that?
Honestly, there was a investor meeting earlier this week where people basically expected them to announce or at least say the name of the console, because that's what they did with the 3DS and the Wii U itself.
You don't think they're just going to call it the NX?
But Bach, if you said that it's all inside of us, are you implying they are making a game system that will run on a human?
Maybe.
NX is people.
That's even immersive than
Immersive.
No, immersive.
Okay, immersive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for Sega to release the Dolphin 64.
Well, good luck with that.
Actually, you know what's the sad thing about Oculus Rift? It's owned by Facebook, and even though there were people who said that Facebook shady practices won't affect Oculus, they affected Oculus. They affected Oculus hard.
Of course.
Including exclusives.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So people are cancelling Oculus pre-orders and ordering Vive.
The Vive actually looks interesting. I think I might buy that.
Vive, I don't know. That's English pronunciation. I had it in French, didn't I?
You may have.
Okay, whatever.
I don't know. The word looks like Vive to me.
It looks like both of those to me, so I just randomly switched the pronunciation.
I honestly don't know which one actually has a better interface technology. I
I think, well, the thing about Oculus exclusive is they already hacked them to run on Vive.
They hacked the shit out of it.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah,
the
but
point?
let's go. Maybe let's go back to the NX.
Shh, Panboy was making a point. Make the point, Panboy.
Okay, I'll let back finish in a moment. But no, the point is, both the Vive and the Rift and whatever other ones pop up in the next years or so, they're going to have a very small customer base. So making exclusive games for them is really going to cripple the sales for either game company. The games just aren't going to have enough media to sell to. It would be like shooting yourself in the foot before you've even started the race. And that just seems utterly retarded. That any game... like with console exclusivity, at least you know a console is going to sell millions. This is a very expensive headset that only people who really are who really want to experiment with 3D are going to buy. Either the Vive, I mean, yeah, they're sold out right now, but the production numbers aren't very big. I mean, compared to standard console sale, these are seeing maybe a quarter of the expected sales of an Xbox. So any game company that goes exclusive for one or the other is just stupid. It's just so incredibly stupid. Why would you do that?
Well, it's the assumption that they are so good that people don't need to buy the other ones. I mean, you can have a choice, Panboy, that would just confuse people.
Although they do appear to both have different interface technologies, which will make coding for one or the other a dilemma. I think, from what I've heard, the Rift will just use a standard 360 controller, or Xbox One controller, and the Vive actually has two motion controllers that are like Wii controllers, kind of like Wiimotes that you can move, and have thumbsticks, which I think might be better. So I'm actually thinking I might get a Vive, just because it's got the unique controller. I can buy a 360 controller anytime I want and use it with a Rift, so or use it with the Vive. I can't see why I wouldn't be able to do that unless the Vive has some kind of proprietary system built in which forces me to use its own controller, which would make me not want that either. Because I've got a full-size joystick. I'm going to want to use that for some of my games too,
You don't. You think you do, but you don't.
Oh my god. But yeah, no. Exclusivity deals on something like a headset. It's like if your monitor company decided that only games. Actually, they did try to do that. Monitors have digital DRM built in.
Well, you could say, like, even in a more general sense, exclusivity deals on an extremely niche market.
Yeah, it's daft. It's just dumb, and it's just a bad move. I can't understand it economically. I think
Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook are trying to force people to have to buy their system to play particular games, and that's just going to cripple those games' sales. That's all I'm saying. That's all I can see, and apparently now it's also hurting the sales of the console itself.
No, it's Facebook, so I wish for it to fail, but yeah, it's sad.
And well, that's my 2 cents on the topic.
All right. Last topic for today. This is to let Berg finish.
Today is only 36 minutes. So.
Yeah. So yeah, there was this investor meeting today where, of course, they were expecting some news over the NX, like what the name would be, and the obvious, yeah, we are gonna show it to you at E3. But exactly opposite happened. They were like, we are not ready to show the NX yet. It will release in March 2017,
Sure.
and we won't have any NX reveal or showing at E3. And what people suspect is basically that because of the sudden news of the PlayStation 4K and the Xbox 1.5, the Nintendo went back to the drawing board, and they actually gonna rework the console a bit, because they would be most likely much behind.
As in, they are going to change it so it's not just Wii U 2.
Well, see, here's what happened. Nintendo were like, okay, this marketing model we've been using has been working really well, where we sell a really terrible console and people buy it anyway. But then our DS sales are always really good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a DS3, right? And we're gonna give it a port that lets you plug it into your TV. And then they realized, wait, people who play games on their TV want them at high resolutions and high frame rate.
Come on.
Look at Sony and Nintendo.
You cannot see more than 30 FPS and more than 1080p. You should know that.
I know, right? But they're like, my God, gamers are demanding consoles.
No, but I think
play
that's not the case for the
4Ks.
NX. I think they are not that.
Yeah, that's not the case.
Another rumor was also like basically because of the production at global foundries about the chips for the PlayStation
It's
4K
but
and
it's
Xbox 1.5, and they apparently messed up the scheduling. They were supposed to already manufacture the NX chips, but they somehow got it switched up and made the chips for the Xbox 1.5 first. People suspect that Microsoft most likely paid them to give them priority, and Nintendo is kinda late, and they had no other choice than moving.
They didn't have
That's-
enough money.
it's just
Yeah,
a rumor.
okay. That might have delayed the product building, but
but-
it shouldn't have delayed it shouldn't delay the current technology if they actually have working prototypes and the machine to display.
But
That would put the manufacturing back, but it wouldn't put the
Yeah,
development.
but if you don't have enough units to
But
sell,
I think the demanding part isn't that much about the consoles. It's more about the Nintendo fans. They are not very demanding people because they don't know what they could demand. Because Nintendo never ran in such a way that it could be considered demanding.
this is kind of not true, because there were more than enough.
Yeah,
people
okay.
to
The original Super Mario Bros. Were demanding for its time.
But no, their
honest-
design philosophy is at complete odds with all the other companies, and it's been hurting them in the last few generations. And I think it's going to continue to hurt them because I don't think they're going to change it. I think they're going to release a Nintendo DS that's better than the previous DS, but nowhere near as powerful as a dedicated console, but they're going to sell it as a dedicated console.
It's a progress.
And I think it will sell as a handheld. But if they up the price point to make it more capable as a TV console, that's going to hurt it. And
Yeah, but the games that
that's
are
no
already
good.
announced for the NX kind of speak against the handheld plan, because I think they announced like the most recent Dragon Quest titles on the NX, and also Zelda. That
Yeah,
will be
but-
released on the Wii U is also coming to the NX, so at least it needs to be as powerful as the Wii U.
Nintendo
not hard.
are not above putting shitty tech in a new console and
You
telling
are
it's good.
aware that they had up until the GameCube, they actually had pretty fast systems. The GameCube itself was actually faster than the PlayStation 2, but it still had worse sales, because the issue was not really the system itself. It was for the most part the communication with their third-party developers, because most of them are in America. And,
Yes.
But this
the
is
issue
true.
is that they don't give the American branch the freedom it should have to communicate with the developers. Instead,
Okay,
they were
but
in their I
Yes,
would say the
but-
Japanese
but-
temples isolated and did their own thing.
But it is true about this that the GameCube was hardware better than PlayStation 2. The problem is that Nintendo kind of stayed in that era.
Yes, the GameCube was a great little console, had tiny little discs that only had half a game on them. But then the Wii happened, and the Wii was a GameCube, and then the Wii U happened, and the Wii U was a GameCube in a bit. And the fact of the matter is, Nintendo have not been upgrading their hardware.
Actually, the Wii U hardware is different. It's like PowerPC based.
It's nowhere near the same power as the other consoles on the market.
I'm pretty sure
Maybe
that
like, I don't know, 100 GameCubes game.
I am pretty sure that Miyamoto himself said that Wii is pretty much a GameCube.
Yeah, the originally, the Wii U.
The Wii U.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the Wii U.
Oh, okay.
The Wii-
Yeah, it's
So fine. It's 4 GameCubes held together by duct tape.
The Wii U definitely holds a lot more power than the Wii. Like it feels like more of a proper console, but yeah. What?
No, it was actually.
Sorry, Artrix. You just said proper and console in one sentence.
There's a reason why a lot of people have the combo of the Wii U plus PC, because the PlayStation and the Xbox are trying very hard to be like PCs.
No,
Whereas-
Artrix, they are not trying very hard to be like PCs. They are trying very hard to be multimedia thing.
Which is more of a reason not to have them. Because why would you?
But you can watch TV.
Yeah, I
I
want to
will
watch
play.
TV on my gaming console.
I like the pull of the PlayStation 4.5 that's going on, which is basically a PC in the guise of not being a PC. Or as somebody put it, it's not like a PC. It's more like a console that's sort of up to the current era.
Anyways, I think we've been going on for long enough now for this episode.
Well, I don't know why didn't you just abruptly cut it off?
I'm not going to, because I'm still going to play the outro music, because
Oh,
we're still professional like that.
We forgot to mention one thing actually.
Okay, what was it? Go ahead.
We don't have Astra today.
No, it's true.
Well, just gotta wait for the program to stop crashing.
No.
Well, it's taken sweet time to... Okay, it stopped crashing. Yeah, Astra wasn't with us today. That's actually kind of part of the new style of the podcast, which is more flexible and...
Patriarchy!
What now?
Patriarchy.
Yeah, the patriarchy, blah blah blah. No, actually, we'll bring in whoever's interested in, being on podcast. So it's less of a regular cast than...
No,
Whatever.
it means that we replaced Astra with Bug when Astra is not here. And we replaced Bug with Astra when Bug is not here.
Or whoever we might find. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Sekla or Knightley wants to co-host one of these days. Who knows?
Yes, but none of them is of a sound mind.
Which
Or a
would
sound-
only
sound-
make
sound.
things better. So, yeah.
No.
Just admit that you don't want to talk to them on the podcast. You're like, ew, new people, scary.
I don't want to talk to them at all.
I
Anyways,
saw a person once.
yeah, did you die?
It was,
Yeah.
No, but I was triggered.
Obviously he died. He's Irish. That's where you go when you die.
Anywho, thank you for listening for Radio Rothingham
Yes.
Thank you for
No.
listening to Radio Rothingham, the least professional podcast on the internet.
Thank you for listening to the Rotting Radio.
The Rothing Radio Ham. Subscribe, like, all that good shit, and see you guys next week.
Or
Or
download.
something.
We actually don't care. Just press one of the buttons.
Press all of them, all of them,
Yeah, at once.
and then maybe you'll be rich.
Fucking bubbles.
Or will be rich.
Which